think on the first date, it should just be friendly questions.
Mm.
Like, don't ask questions about how much money you make and all that kind of stuff, your credit score. I think it should just be get to know somebody, just get to know them and be friends with them. Friends.
Mm.
And I
No.
don't ask about intention, because really you should just say, you know what, I'm just looking to have some fun,
Mm.
some clean fun.
That I'll say have some fun ain't gonna work. But somebody, yeah, you know, here's when somebody says, "So what are you looking for right now? A friend, keeping your options open to have fun, a relationship, marriage?" I think that's a fair question, you know, because if you're looking for marriage and the other person is just kind of like, you know,
no way, no how am I ever getting married. I think you need to know that. I'm just looking for a friend. That is not my intention. And whatever they say, you just have to thank them for being honest with you. Even if you disagree, you say, well, that's not going to work. It's okay to be friends with somebody.
Well, I think a lot of people lie to themselves and they lie to each other about what their intentions are.
Yeah.
I think most people, like I've seen people, if you ask them, like, what are you looking for? They'll say, oh, I'm looking for my soulmate. I'm looking to get married. But you'll see that they have dated 30 different people in the last 3 years, right? And the odds that all 30 of those people were not qualified are very low. And it really speaks to the idea that some people have said this, that sometimes you're just fooling yourself. You're looking for something that doesn't exist, and you enjoy the hunt. Like we like to say men like the hunt and like the chase, but there's also a theory that says women also can enjoy the chase, where they're like, okay, I'm gonna chase this man until I find out he's not perfect, and then I'm gonna chase another man until I find out he's not perfect. Then I'm gonna chase another man, find out he's not, and it becomes like those. Well, hold on, wait, let me finish. And then it becomes like that TV show. You know those TV shows where they will have a character that's always looking for his father, and he never finds his father. Like 3 seasons go by, and he never finds his dad. You know, or like the Good Times, where they were always trying to get out of the projects and they could never get out. Every time you thought they was going to get out, something would go wrong. And then when they finally got out the projects, the show was over. And then we were sad.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I think another way, instead of saying this person is perfect, maybe they're just paying attention to red flags. And then they notice the red flags. Like, it's one thing to know that people have baggage when they bring baggage into the relationship. That's one thing. But like severe red flags, like I do think you should pay attention to red flags before you, take it any step forward and not ignore it. That's why it's important, I think, for everybody to have a good support system, like someone you can talk to about what's going on with you, because sometimes you can be blinded. I have watched too many Netflix specials and documentaries on how people get manipulated out of their money because someone is, and had they confided with their girlfriends or guy friends or talked to someone about it, then they wouldn't have been manipulated. It's unbelievable how you don't really focus in on your gut instincts. You don't use, like, you're blinded by the fun of a new relationship, and you ignore signs. There's signs. I mean, people can't hide who they are. Maybe they can on the first date, possibly, but it's eking out. Like, who they really are comes out, and you really do need to pay attention to that. So I'm not certain. I'm gonna push back on your perfect comment, because I haven't run across anybody that's like, I need somebody perfect. I've run across people to say, oh, these are some red flags, and I don't know how this is going to work for me.
I get that, right? But if 30 people all had red flags that made you feel like you couldn't live with that person, that tells me either you're a terrible picker, you deliberately go after horrible people, or your red flags are just, your own fear. You set a standard that's almost impossible for anybody to meet. Like, if you got a list of 10 items that a person must fit, and then if a person misses one of them and you eliminate them, that's not a healthy lit, right? So I think that, to me, when I look at red flags, I pretty much, honestly, when I was dating, I assumed every woman had some red flags in terms of things I knew would get on my nerves or make me feel some kind of way.
Hold on, I don't know if that's a red flag.
Well, to me, I think
red flags and baggage. Maybe there's like.
Okay. So there you go. So there maybe that's the clarifying point, right? Baggage is not a red flag, but there are lots of people that come into relationships with baggage, and I think
everybody comes in. Right.
And I've seen people take baggage and look at that as a red flag. And then say, oh, well, no, he's not right because of blah, 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 or she's not right because of blah, blah, blah. And I think that it's like there's this quest to find, it's like politics, right? Like, we get all these really bad politicians in our country, but and our politicians are liars, and they have these scandals and they blow our minds. But you got to look at it and say, well, who's picking the politicians? We are. So when we
really pick politicians,
we do. We vote. We vote, and we decide who's not going to. I think we do have. We have a say in that, right? And I think that what the problem is that politicians realize that you cannot get elected by telling the truth about everything. You have to present the image of perfection, because everybody's looking for the perfect candidate.